Okay, game designers, this is Mr. Sparks. We're going to continue our RPG project. We left off the last time. We were setting up a respawning system, and one thing I probably forgot to do when I opened this project back up, we created a map last time. If we open our maps, we created this valley. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that our project uses this map here from now on when we open up, and not this third-person example map. So we'll go ahead and do that first. So if we go here to settings and click that, and we choose project settings, and when that opens up here, we want to go to maps and modes. Okay, so in maps and modes, here where we had set our game mode and everything, we want to go down here to our editor startup map. So if we click right here, we will go to Valley. So we're going to do that, and that will change our editor startup map, and we'll go ahead and change our game default map to that. When we create a main menu or something to start our game, we'll change that actually as a default map to begin our game. So just make sure you do that. That takes care of that, and then we'll go ahead and double click, and we'll load up our valley. Okay, so this is what we had at the end of the last video. Our character will spawn in a random location somewhere, and we can jump, and when we start taking health away, our character will kind of disappear, and so on. So and respawn in a new place. Okay, so what we're going to do is first thing we need to do, we need a better way to check our health. So right now we're just we see a little print string, so we're going to go up here back in our character, and when we take our player damage, we're going to go into this function. And out here where we are adding this print string part here for our health, we're just going to eliminate that. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that, and we'll just plug this straight into our branch. Okay, now we're going to set up our player HUD now. We're going to start setting that up. So if you go back in here, we'll go to blueprints, and what we want now is a new folder. We're going to create our user interfaces. So we create some HUDs. We'll place them all in one folder by themselves. Okay, so we're going to right click, create a new folder, and we'll just call this user interface. Okay, and let's give it a nice color. So we'll choose a new color. Let's try something like this. Let's drag this up if we want to reuse it later. Okay, and just double click. And we're going to go in here, and in this case, to add this is called a widget blueprint. So what we want to do is go to the user interface port here and go down to widget blueprint. Okay, and we're just going to call this player HUD. Okay, and so go ahead and open that up. You'll notice you got the right one. It has this little heart and these little progress bars and things like that. So we'll double click that, and you'll get this this generic screen right here. So the way this works is this area right here in this little box is your actual game screen. So this is what you will see when you're playing. So we're going to adjust this around so that we place our things we want to track in our HUD in locations that won't interfere with our gameplay. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to add a couple of bars. So far in our character, I'm going to jump back over here real quick, we have health and stamina. So we want to be able to see that in real time. So we're going to add, the way you do that in these HUDs is we're going to use a progress bar. Okay, so we're going to take this progress bar here, we'll drag it down on our canvas panel, and it normally always defaults to the upper left hand corner. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to the right. We may adjust this and make a much nicer looking HUD in the future, but right now we just want one that's actually functional and that it works the way we want it to, and then we'll enhance it later on. Okay, so we want to go up here to progress bar and details, and we're going to rename this because we don't want all these just generic numbers as we go. So we're going to say health bar. Okay, so health bar. And this point right here is our anchor point. This is where we'll anchor it on our screen. This is very important that you set these correctly. Otherwise, your stuff in your HUD may just either be off the screen completely or it may just be in a random location and you don't understand why. So this is what this is. And the way you set an anchor point is you go up here where it says anchors, and we're going to anchor this to the top right. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this position, and I'm going to change the size and everything like that. So I want to change the X position of this bar right here, and I'm going to say -470. Okay, I've kind of pre-done these, so pretty much know kind of where these should go. And in position Y, we're going to make that 70. Okay. And so what we want to do for the size is I have made these about 400 on the X and about 20 on the Y. Okay, so that'll pretty much give us a good start there. Okay. Z order, real quickly, Z order is how it appears on the screen, and this is a two-dimensional thing. So the higher this number, it will be coming forward on the screen. The lower the number, 0 or negative, it will be pushing it back. So if you want something to overlay something else, just make sure that the Z order is higher. Okay, so let's go into the style section here just for a second and expand your background image area. So right now these bars are just kind of like a grayish color, and this is when the bar is empty. So I'm going to make my bar here, since this is going to be the health bar, you can make the back empty part a different color than what the fill part is. So we're going to go down to the tint right now. I'm going to click this. It's going to make it like a red color. Okay, so red will tell me that I'm losing health. So if I just, I can just zero that out. Okay, so if you zero your RGB and just have red as 1, you'll pretty much take care of that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. That'll take care of it in the style. And in the progress here, this is my fill color down here, which affects what it looks like. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to use this green color. Okay, so I want it to be green when it's full, red when it's empty. All right, and now I'm just going to kind of hand do this. So we're going to actually create a binding function that will govern this. But for now, just for our purposes, I'm just going to put 0.5. That'll just kind of fill it halfway. Okay. Now you can fill this in different ways. You can fill it left to right. You can fill it right to left. You can fill it from the center. You can fill it from top to bottom, or you can fill it from bottom to top. So a lot of different options. Bottom to top and top to bottom would be if you're having a vertical bar this way. But we're just going to, I'm going to leave mine left to right for now. Okay. So that's pretty much all I need to do for that particular one as far as the location. So let's go ahead and add, create a new one, and we'll do our stamina. So I'm going to, since I already have these parameters in place, we're going to go over here and I'm just going to duplicate this. So let's just duplicate this, and we'll call this one the stamina bar. So we'll go up here. So stamina bar. Okay, it's already anchored, and you'll notice that it pushed it way over here. Okay, so let's go and let's set this one position X the same, so -470, and we'll make our Y position 110. So that'll put it slightly below there. 400 and 200 is fine. We don't need to do anything else there. The percent is fine. I'm going to change my fill color on this one, so I'm just going to kind of give it this bluish color. And I'm also going to change the background color, so I can go in here to the style, expand that down, expand my background image down, and let's just make it more of a maybe like a yellow color. So we'll use that. Okay, so now we pretty much have both these bars set up. Now the next step is to bind these. So we're going to go ahead and compile this, and let's go over here to our graph, and we're going to say off of event construct, we really don't need this pre-construct. We can get rid of it, and we don't need the tick event. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to basically on our event graph is I want to try it this way. If it works, if not, we can do it a different way. So we're going to say event construct. We're going to say get player character. So we're going to say get player character, and we're going to say cast to base character. Okay, so cast a base character. And then we're going to take here and we're going to say, from right here, we're going to promote this to a variable. So we're going to say promote this to a variable. I'm just going to say character ref instead of typing all the way out character reference. And what this will do is this should give us a reference to our character, base character's blueprint. So let's go ahead and compile that. And we'll jump back over here. And on our health bar, we're going to go down here where it says progress. Make sure you do progress. And this is the only binding we're going to do. Is right here where it says 0.5, we're going to click bind. And we're going to create a binding. Okay. So we're going to create a binding that will fill up our bar according to what our health percent is. Okay. So we're just going to take our character reference, drag this out. We're going to get that. And we're going to say get health. So we're going to get our health. That'll be our character's current health. We're going to also get our max health. So we say get max health. So we want to get both of these values. And then we're going to divide them. We're going to take our health and we're going to press division symbol. We're going to do float divided by float. Okay, so progress bars work off a value of 1.0 to 0. So 0 being empty, 1.0 being full. So we're going to plug that in. And what it will do is it will take this bar and the percent that it uses will be based off of the current health value divided by our maximum health. So when we begin, these are the same. So even if we adjust these throughout the game, this will always give us a value between 0 and 1. So right now, if they're set to 100, and you can kind of click here and you go down here and it gives you what their default values are. So I've got 100 here, got 100 there. So 100 divided by 100 will give us 1. If our health drops to 90, 90 divided by 100 will be 0.9, so it would be only 90% of the bar. So that's all it's really doing. Makes it much easier to work with. Okay, so we'll go back over to our designer and we'll do the same exact thing here for our stamina bar. So we're going to go here, go down to progress here, choose create binding, and we'll basically do the same thing. We'll take our character reference variable, get that. This time we're going to get stamina. So we're going to get stamina. And we're also going to get max stamina. So get stamina, get max stamina. Okay. We will divide those. Float divided by float. Here. Plug that in. And compile. Okay, so that's really all we need to do for now in here. We'll be adding to this. So we got to go back over to our base character. And we've got to be able to actually add this to our scene. So we're going to go up here, and our character doesn't have a begin play. So what we're going to do here, we're going to add a begin play node. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and go up here right above our movement input, and we're going to say begin play. So event begin play. And when we do that, we're going to create that widget. So we're going to say create widget. So create widget, and we got to tell it which one we want. So in this case, we want our player HUD that we just made. So that's the one we want to create. Now, right now it's just created. It's still not going to see it, so we have to actually tell it to put it on the viewport so we can actually see it. So we're going to go ahead and promote this also to a variable, so we can use it in other places if we need to use it. Promote that to a variable, and we'll just say this is our player HUD ref. Okay, so this will be a player HUD reference. All right. So when it's created it, it will set that variable for us. And then what we can do is we can say add to viewport. So we'll add it to our viewport. Add to player screen would be if you were doing a multiplayer game. Okay, so this will add it to the viewport, but one problem we'll run into is when our character dies, the HUD will still stay there because it's a completely separate blueprint class from our character. So it's not directly tied to our character the way we're using it. If we had added it as a component, then when our character was destroyed, it would also be destroyed. Okay, so the way we can do that when our character dies, that's going to get an end play. So if we type in end play, this event will trigger when our character is destroyed. Okay, so now we can just take our player HUD ref, drag this up, get that. So it should be referencing this HUD here. And we're just going to say remove from parent. Okay, plug that in here. And that should be all we need to do. So let's go ahead and compile it. And we'll go out here and test to see is it actually working. So I'm going to hit play. I'm going to press and they're not functioning here. So for some reason our variables are not getting picked up. So let's try, it might be our cast node is not functioning correctly. So one easy way we can fix that, we can just do this. So we can say get player character, see if this is going to work, and then we'll cast to base character. And then we'll just plug these in here. And we'll see if this is going to work. Instead, I've had this problem before, and usually this is the fix. So let's go ahead and compile and see if that makes my health bar work. And it does make my health bar work. So we'll go ahead and do that. So jump back over here. We can take these two nodes here, take that, Control C to copy, jump over here, take that reference out, Control V to paste those in, plug that up, plug this up. Then we should be able to plug these two in here. Okay. And we can go over here and we can basically, we can leave this. It's not functioning the way we really want it to right now, but we'll see where we go. So now we go here, and now they appear to be working correctly. So they are full like we wanted them to be. And when I press H, you'll notice that my health goes down accordingly. Okay. So my health is going down. Should go down one more time. Character is destroyed. And our HUD is not being removed like it should. So we'll have to look at the reasoning on that, why that's not functioning correctly. So we really want that HUD to disappear whenever our character is destroyed. So if we just plug this in here, we'll see if that works. These references may not be working correctly the way they should. And they are not being removed. So we'll have to work on that part and see why this is not functioning the way it should. But at least if that's working, that'll be a positive thing there. And so that'll kind of end this video for today. We'll pick up from this one. We'll be setting up a double jumping ability and a cooldown system. So that'll be a little bit longer video. A little bit more coding to it, and I'll try to iron out the problems on the other one, and hopefully we can fix that at the beginning of the other video and start setting up a double jump. We'll probably add a dash and sprint ability in the next few videos. So that's all for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.